We've all been told our whole lives that the human sense of smell is, well, pretty weak, right? Especially when you think about animals like dogs. The idea is that we're mostly visual creatures, and our noses are just kinda there. Well, it turns out that's one of the biggest misconceptions in all of biology. So let's just ask it straight up. Are we actually bad at this? Did we just evolve past needing a powerful nose? You might be surprised, but the answer is a huge, resounding no. In fact, science is showing us that our noses are hiding a secret superpower. Okay, let's really dive into this. This isn't just a weak secondary sense. Your olfactory system is this high-resolution, incredibly sensitive piece of biological tech. It is constantly analyzing the chemical world around you, and it's influencing your hormones, your emotions, and your decisions in ways you probably never even realized. To give you an idea of how powerful, let's talk about the smell of gas. You know that additive they put in natural gas, mercaptan? Well, your nose can detect it at a concentration of just zero point 0.2 parts per billion. And get this, as neurobiologist Dr. Noam Sobel points out, there is no machine on Earth, no fancy gas chromatograph that can reliably do that. Your nose is literally a superpower. So over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack this hidden sense. We're going to look at its direct line to your brain, our shocking ability to actually track scents, the subconscious social language of smell, a bizarre cycle happening in your nose right this second, and even the hidden chemical message inside of human tears. Okay, so first up, let's talk about why smell is so unique. I mean, unlike your other senses, which take this multi-stop tour through the brain before they get processed, smell has a VIP pass. It's got a direct, unfiltered connection to the most primal parts of your mind. And this whole thing happens in a flash. An odor molecule travels just 7 centimeters up your nose. It hits this little patch of tissue packed with about 7 million receptors, and that signal instantly crosses a tiny piece of your skull called the cribriform plate to arrive at the olfactory bulb. And from there, no middleman. It goes straight to your amygdala, your emotion center, and your hippocampus, the core of your memory. This is exactly why a single smell can trigger such a powerful, immediate emotional memory out of nowhere. Okay, so our noses are sensitive. We get that. But can we actually use that information in a complex way? I mean, common wisdom says no. That's what dogs do. But a now famous experiment from Dr. Noam Sobel's lab at UC Berkeley absolutely shattered that idea. So what they did was isolate the sense of smell. They took away people's vision with blindfolds, their hearing with earmuffs, and even their sense of touch with these heavy gloves. The task was to get down on all fours and follow a scent trail of chocolate essential oil, a trail that was buried under the grass. Now, at first, people were clumsy, as you'd expect. But in just a few days, they became expert trackers, moving as fast as they could crawl right along that invisible path. So how in the world do we do this? Well, it comes down to something called stereo olfaction. It's just like how having 2 eyes gives you depth perception. Having 2 nostrils gives your brain 2 slightly different snapshots of the chemical world. That tiny difference in odor concentration between your left and right nostril lets your brain triangulate where a smell is in space and actually follow it. Pretty cool, right? Now this is where it gets really wild. This ability to locate and process scents has huge implications for our social lives, and it's happening in ways we don't even realize. We are constantly gathering chemical information from other people, almost entirely subconsciously, and using it to make these critical social judgments. For instance, Dr. Sobel's lab noticed this weird pattern of behavior. After shaking hands with someone, people often bring that hand up to their face. So they set up a hidden camera experiment. People were greeted, sometimes with a handshake, sometimes without. And the results, they were just undeniable. The results were staggering. After a handshake, people spent more than twice as much time with their hand near their nose. And when the researchers actually measured the airflow, they confirmed it. People weren't just touching their face, they were actively sniffing their own hand to sample the chemical signature of the person they just met. We are smelling each other all the time. This chemical investigation might even predict who you become friends with. A study looked at what they called click friends, those people you feel an instant connection with. They found something remarkable. Using an electronic nose, they discovered that the body odors of these click friends are way more similar than random pairs of strangers. What's even crazier is they could use that e-nose to predict which strangers, after just a brief, nonverbal interaction, would say they felt a connection. It looks like similarity in body odor is a key ingredient for social clicking. So we've established our nose is a powerful tool for navigating the world out there, but it's also a direct readout of our internal world, and it's thanks to this really bizarre phenomenon that most of us never even notice is happening.
Okay, try this with me right now. Close your mouth, press one nostril shut, and breathe in. Now switch. Did you feel a difference? I bet one nostril felt way more open, more dominant than the other. And that's not because you're sick or congested. Your body is designed to do that.
This is called the nasal cycle. Every couple of hours or so, your body automatically shifts which nostril is doing most of the work. And what's incredible is that this cycle is directly driven by the push and pull of your autonomic nervous system, that balance between the fight or flight system and the rest and digest system. This constant rhythmic shift is a physical sign of what's going on inside your body. All right, we've seen how odors can send complex social information, but maybe the most profound, most mind-blowing discovery from Dr. Sobel's lab involves a chemical signal that has no odor at all, the emotional tears of another person. So in this landmark study, researchers collected tears from women who were watching sad movies. Then they had male volunteers sniff either those tears or just a simple saline control solution. Now the men couldn't smell any difference at all. The tears are odorless, but their biology registered a powerful signal. The results were absolutely stunning. Just sniffing the odorless, emotional tears caused, on average, a 14% drop in free testosterone in the men. I mean, that is a massive physiological effect, a drop that's comparable to some medications, all triggered by a chemical signal they didn't even know they were perceiving. So what does this all mean? Well, Dr. Sobel's theory is that tears evolved as this powerful chemical signal. By lowering testosterone in males who are nearby, they act as a kind of chemical blanket, a nonverbal cue to lower aggression and signal vulnerability, which in turn protects the person who's crying. So let's wrap all this up. We've seen that far from being this useless leftover sense, our nose is a primary way we gather critical information about our physical, social, and emotional world, and most of this is happening completely under the radar of our conscious mind. So the key takeaways here are really clear. We are expert smellers, totally capable of tracking scents. We use odor to navigate our social world, even to predict friendships. The very air moving through our nose is a window into our nervous system, and we even communicate through powerful, odorless chemical signals like tears.
And the future here is even more fascinating. Labs all over the world, including Dr. Sobel's, are now cracking the code that links a molecule's structure to how we perceive its scent. They're developing algorithms and devices that can basically digitize and transmit smell. Think of it like creating optical illusions for your nose. And fun fact, the first odor ever transmitted over the internet was, of all things, violets.
And that really brings us to our final thought. We started by tearing down this myth of our weak sense of smell, and we discovered this hidden world of chemical communication that's shaping our lives every single second. It just makes you wonder, if this incredibly powerful system has been operating in the background this whole time, what other secret superpowers is your body hiding in plain sight?